What's up, everyone? Welcome to Let's Talk Markets with Dave Lauer. I am your co-host, Pink, and today I want to make sure everyone brought your permission slips and your sack lunch because we are going on a field trip.
Get on the bus.
Yep, we are taking a break from our our regularly scheduled programming to take you on a platform tour around the amazing platform that we have been building for individual investors, and that means you. So thanks for joining us today. If you are a new listener, thank you. It's a perfect time to be joining us and getting a feel for who we are and what we're about. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back and thanks for subscribing. Tell all your friends. So Dave, I'm really excited to show off, but before we get into that, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the whole Urvin team, because we've got a really stellar team that makes all of this happen.
It's been an adventure for the last almost 2.5 years now, and I couldn't ask to be on it with a better team of people. Just everywhere you look across the company, from the co-founders to the content team, you guys, and the tech team, the dev team, and the guys, the folks doing support, product management, everything. It's just such a pleasure to work with everyone involved, and I think we all have a great time with it. And we're trying to do something important, and I'm excited to show everyone what it is we've been working on now for a couple of years, in case you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would probably point out is if you're listening to us on audio only, you're probably not going to get as much out of this. So maybe jump over to YouTube, but leave us a rating and say this episode was the best one you've heard yet. But also check out YouTube, where you'll actually be able to see the platform in action.
That's right. And we don't monetize our videos, so there shouldn't be, I don't know how Google and YouTube works anymore. I think they throw 5-minute ads at everybody, but there shouldn't be too much on our videos because we don't monetize any of our content. So feel free to join us there, as Dave said, or we're happy to accompany you through your speakers on your drive home or stuck in traffic. But hands off the wheel, eyes closed, just envision everything, So
as you're picturing it, we were presenting the platform to a potential investor the other day, and they said, "This is the most beautiful UI that I have seen." And so as you're envisioning it, if you're on audio, you can just picture the absolute most spectacularly beautiful user interface. Imagine.
Yes, the Aphrodite of UI. Yeah. It is. It's very smart. It's very sexy. We have a great design team that, they blow my mind constantly when they show us what they're working on. So it's just it's a divine coming together of an intelligent and passionate group of people, and we've created something really great. So I could wax poetic on and on about how great the team is at building this vision out, but we're going to show you. So before we get started in any of the features, I wanted to take sort of a macro view of everything, and that's to talk a little bit about where we source our data. So Dave, can you tell us a little bit about all of the different ways that we source our different forms of data that we offer on the platform?
Yeah, what we set out to do with Urvin was to provide professional quality data to retail and individual investors. And that's what we have done. So as we're looking at various pages on the platform, there are different sources of data behind many of the elements and the components that you're looking at. So real-time market data, for example, comes from a data feed called the SIP, the Securities Information Processor. And that is the entire market. And it is the best view of markets that you can get outside of the depth feeds that the individual exchanges provide, which are just exorbitantly expensive. But the SIP feed itself provides all the data that you need to see the entire market. You see every exchange, all of the orders at the top of the book across every exchange and every trade that happens. This is different from a lot of sites that use discount or basic feeds that only show you what's happening on one set of exchanges. So that's sort of element number one. Anytime you're seeing real-time data on Urvin, you're seeing it from the SIP feed. Anytime you're seeing news, you're seeing it from Moody's News. That's the same real-time news provider that CNBC journalists have on their desks. Anytime you're looking at fundamental information on the security details page, we're looking at it from S&P Capital IQ. And then anytime we're looking at short interest and short metrics, that's coming directly from FIS, which hooks into LoanNet, which shows all of the securities lending activity, almost all at least, that's happening. And finally, we use data from another provider called Intrinio, and Intrinio really just has a huge breadth of data. And so anytime we can't get data from one of those other sources, we fill it in with Intrinio data. They have excellent quality data. And a lot of our sources also come through Intrinio. So it gives us the opportunity to check in an automated way and ensure that our data quality is also as high as it can be. Although that's an area in beta that is still under development.
So you said that the SIP covers securities pricing. What about crypto?
Yeah, crypto we're getting from a network called Pyth, Pyth. So that's the Pyth network. Today we get crypto and FX prices from Pyth. We're soon adding the US Treasury yield curve, which will come real-time pricing from Pyth. And Pyth is an interesting network because it consolidates all these different sources. And so it's not just one source. When you get data over the Pyth network, you're getting it from many different places. And so we find that it gives excellent real-time pricing over Pyth.
All right, so let's get started. We're going to dive in. Now, when you log into Urvin, you can use your email plus a password to sign up, or you can use Google or Microsoft sign-in services to create your account. And you'll be brought to your personal dashboard, which is called MyHub. So, Dave, up at the top, we see markets. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the markets there?
Yeah, so we've got the markets component at the top of the page. And again, it's just a quick view, really easy way to see what's going on. We've got US markets and we use ETFs. And again, it's real-time data if you have that enabled. If not, it's 15-minute delayed. But you can see we've got all the major ETFs, SPY, Qs, Diamonds, IWM, and then what's going on with the VIX. And then you want to see what's going on in Europe. You can switch over Asia. We've got currencies and crypto, futures and commodities. And then we've also got your entire watch list up here. So anytime you need a quick glimpse of what's going on, you can use the markets component at the top of the page.
It's a great way to keep an eye on your entire portfolio.
Yeah, that's right. And if you see something, you want to add the Qs to your portfolio or to your watch list, you can do that from up here as well. You want to see just a quick snip of like, okay, what is the Qs? What's the price? What's the change? Where is it? It's listed on the NASDAQ. It's in the US. Just a quick little bubble to check on what's going on in markets.
Excellent. And then just below there, you see the news component, which you mentioned is the same news that's going across the desks of CNBC reporters and journalists. So I'm a news junkie, and I find our news sources to be cutting edge. So it's really nice to be tuned into
Yeah,
on the
again,
MyHub.
an amazing breadth of news sources. It's global news, and we can get into that a little later when we talk about the news itself. But here we've tried to distill what are the top stories at this moment in markets, what are affecting stocks the most, and they're tagged generally. You can see the industry if that's applicable. You can see what stocks the story affects, and you can quickly skip through if you want to see what's going on.
All right, next we've got the top movers in your watch list.
Yeah, so once you've created a watch list by adding things to the watch list using the star button, here we're just going to show you the top 5 movers, both gainers and losers, in your watch list.
Now for the portfolio connection, something that's very exciting, and we'll get into all of the fun things that this unlocks a little bit later, but portfolio snapshot and your portfolio connection.
Yeah, so here you can do both self-reported portfolios, so you can track whatever it is you want to track, or create sort of paper trading and monitor P&L of paper trading. But then you can also connect portfolios, and when you click on Connect Portfolio, you get our list of all of the brokers that we support, as well as all of the crypto wallets. And you can connect any of them, and that gives you a connected portfolio where, again, we're going to track your profit and loss over time. We're going to show you statistics on your portfolio, and it'll unlock all sorts of other features that we'll talk about in a bit.
And you can connect multiple portfolios, so you can keep an eye on all of your investments, like you said, from securities to crypto. So
that's right. And once you connect your portfolio, the entire platform gets customized for you. So it's really a nice feature where suddenly the news is going to be more relevant. The communities are going to be more relevant when we suggest communities that apply to your portfolio, and then it unlocks other features on the site that we'll talk about later.
All right, so next we have the Market Now component.
Yeah, so we'll scroll down a bit, and here we can see sort of what's happening in markets right now. So you can see top gainers and top losers across the markets. And then you can also see which stocks are getting the most significant changes in analyst coverage. Who's getting the most buy recommendations and who's getting the most sell recommendations, for example.
Then we've got the Hive Mind component here. It's really it's a snapshot of what's going on in the communities, right?
I love the Hive Mind component. It's one of my favorites, and it shows you just in a quick high-level view in terms of what's being posted on the community, what tags people are putting on those posts. So today you can see that on the community, people are talking about corporate earnings. They're talking about Evergrande. That's been a big topic on the platform, inflation, macroeconomics, big tech, China, but also Irvin Ed, our Welcome series, and video games, of course. So, it's just a great way to see what's going on the platform.
Love that. Next, we have crypto and ForEx.
Yeah, so here, crypto and ForEx. Again, as we spoke about before, we're getting real-time prices on crypto and foreign exchange. And so what we've done real quick is just give you, again, the top 6 gainers in crypto, the top 6 losers in crypto. And then you want to pop over to ForEx and see, again, the gainers and losers. We've got all that just at a glance, real quick, easy to see in a nice little component. And then if you want to go to any of those pages, you can pull up the pages to look at charts, or you can view all to go see everything happening in crypto or FX.
All right. Now, going back down, we've got the short metrics component.
Yeah, so for short metrics, this gives you a window into the stock loan market, and as well as the short interest. So what we're doing is we're pulling in data from, as I said before, FIS, and we're showing you across all of the securities which ones have the highest cost to borrow, the highest short interest, the lowest availability. You can hit, again, view all if you want to go look at the entire list rather than just the top 5. You can add these stocks to your portfolio or watch list. Or you can go to the individual stocks and see even more detailed short metrics over time.
So that might be of interest to those who invest according to where the shorts are shorting, right?
That's right.
So.
Try and stay ahead of them.
Next, another component that I love, which is the news for you and news by sector.
Yeah, so here, news for you is based on your watch list and portfolio. You can break it out to see individually news by watch, for the stocks in your watch list, news for the stocks in your portfolio, or you can just explore and see what's going on in the news today. And of course, you want to go view all, you want to go to our news dashboard, you can do that right from here. You can share these news articles, you can bookmark them to read them later, and you can see if they are about a stock, which stock they're about. And if they're more than one, you get that in this little +1 or +2 right here. Same thing for if they're about different sectors, you can see which sectors they're about. You can see what the source is, and you can see when it's from, and of course click on it to read the full article.
Which you can also then go in and comment directly on the news article. So
that's right. We pull this article up, we see it's about Toyota, it's in the US, business and commerce, it's from the Associated Press. Again, you can add it to your workspace or share it, and you can add a comment right here.
And next we have the community component.
Yeah, again, community component on MyHub, just a quick way to see what's going on in the community. You can see the ones that I've joined you can see posts from people that I'm following. You can see posts based on tickers in my watch list or portfolio. That's both of them, or individually out, pull out watch list or portfolio, or you can see posts that are coming from the Irvin team. So again, everything on MyHub is meant to be a quick view, a quick summary of things that are happening on platform or in markets. And then if you want to, you can drill down across the board, either into communities, into individual posts, into individual stocks, or into lists of stocks, articles, or posts.
All right. So now I want to really dig into communities because there's a lot to discover there and it's growing more every day. So we'll start with the community feed, which is the default when you do visit communities.
Yeah, so here we've got the community feed, and it defaults today to all, but you can change to home just to see the communities that you have joined. But today I'd recommend go to all, see what's happening on the platform.
Definitely do. We have 62 active communities. They're finance focused communities with varying levels of privacy and access. Some more exclusive than others, but definitely want to get you involved in the conversation.
Yeah, so on the feed page, on the feed page over here, we've got recommended communities to join. We've got recommended people to follow. And then you can see here, we've got a few posts. You can upvote and downvote posts, just like Reddit. You can pull comment. You can look at the comments. You can post comments. You can share posts. You can save them. Here we've got Mike talking about Evergrande in the world news community. We've got him talking about investing in China in construction and real estate. We've got Pink talking and Start Here about the real-time SIP data. And you can see here is a post of mine in stocks about interest rates when the Fed statement came out. And you can see here, people are commenting, they're upvoting. It's turning into a nice community. And no community is complete without Jack Nicholson and his slow nod.
Exactly. And the ability to speak entirely in GIF.
That's
That's
right.
also an option.
In the community feed, as you would expect, it's an infinite scroll. And here's just one of the coolest features of our community is that within a post, you can embed charts. Here's a post I made today about Warren Buffett versus Cathie Wood, just showing the difference in their performance over the last 5 years. And again, on other platforms, sure, maybe you could take a screenshot of some data and stick it in there, but you don't know where that data is coming from. And that's what's unique about Irvin, is that when you see one of our charts, it's got our data behind it and that you can trust that.
So important in today's online world is being able to trust the source, to find the source, to cite the source, and to back up your research. So
That's
it's
right.
really great, especially when you're making a 40,000 character DD, and you've got to plug in some data. It's really great to have this easily accessible.
Yeah, and here's another example. So, Mike had made a post about the Chinese stock market. And what I did, because we've combined what we think are the best features of Reddit with the best features of Twitter, is I've quote posted his post. And then I embedded a stock chart of the Chinese stock market, the MCHI ETF, talked about, how it's crazy that, from 5 years ago, it's down, and since 1992, it hasn't gone anywhere. And again, the community is growing. You can see that there's activity on this post. There are comments. There's a conversation happening in the comments. And so again, we're trying to build a community on Irvin that's focused on finance. It's focused on helping people learn and understand markets, and that's focused on sharing information and collaborating to get to the right answer so that everyone makes more money in markets.
And next, I wanted to touch on ticker-based communities because that's kind of the heart of our communities, and the community conversation is around investments and our favorite investments. So, rightfully so, at least from where I've sitting, you've pulled up the GME community.
Yeah, so here we've got a community based around an individual ticker. We've got a bunch of these already on the platform, and you can see again people are talking about GME, for example. Here they're sharing information, they're commenting on posts, and it's a community that is active. And that's what we're encouraging. If you want to talk about your favorite stock, come on to Irvin and talk about it. I think, right now, again, we're in beta, and so there are going to be issues. We're hopeful that, we're getting a ton of feedback. You run into an issue, you let us know. We fix things as quickly as we can, I think pretty quick. But also we're adding things all the time. And so you come onto the platform, you want a new community added, you just let us know, and we're going to do that. And then I think what is the most exciting coming feature in our roadmap, and you can see it in the description of this, is that eventually we will have communities for verified shareholders. So when you connect your portfolio, the platform can recognize the different stocks that you are holding, and you will be able to join communities of other fellow shareholders. And we think that's going to make a big difference in terms of the quality of conversations that are happening and the confidence that you can have that you're talking to real people when you're in these communities, and real people who are aligned with you and who are hopeful that they're going to have the same outcome that you're hoping for. And we think that's going to make a big difference in terms of the quality and types of conversations that can happen.
Absolutely. And the peace of mind as you engage just as a regular user to know that these are equally invested users who, as you said, just all want the same outcome. That's so important when you're trying to build a community, to know that everyone is authentic and genuine and is engaging in good faith. And I definitely, coming from a Reddit background, this is probably one of our highlight features on the entire platform. If I do say so myself, I'm partial to communities, but this is really something that Reddit, for one, has been asking for since the beginning of the GameStop saga, at least. So it's really exciting to see this come to fruition. And like you said, we're constantly starting new communities upon request. Of course, keeping them within a finance focus. We do have a meme community and a couple of other, I guess, somewhat fringe topics, but we keep it finance focused and educational and informational and welcoming. So really excited about what's happening here within the communities and what the future will hold in the next 3 to 6 months. For Irvin, we'll definitely be making another one of these videos very soon, and hopefully have a lot more updates to share.
That's right.
So I want to take a look at the security details page. And right now you are searching for a ticker through the search bar.
Yeah, so if I want to jump to any page on the platform real quick, I'm going to use the search bar. It's what we call an omni search bar. It searches across everything on the platform. So I pop in Microsoft, and I get a quick link to Microsoft the stock, which is what I happen to be looking for right now. But I also get profiles of users on the platform. I get posts that mention or are relevant to Microsoft. I get news on Microsoft. And if there was a community with Microsoft in the title, I would see that here too. So when I jump to this page, this is what we call the security details page. And this is for your whatever stock you want to look at, your home page for every bit of information that you could possibly want. Again, we've got full charting capabilities here. You can change the time scale. You can go back 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. You can look at intraday data with different bars. You can put indicators on the chart. You can compare this chart to other stocks and ETFs. You can draw on the chart. We're going to give you a quick summary of the most important information for Microsoft. We're going to show you the analyst ratings, as well as how that aggregate rating breaks down if you hover over that aggregate rating. And now, as you scroll down, you're going to see all of these components that give you different information on the company. You're also going to see the top news. And for any of these, you can hit something like view all here, which is going to take you to all the news on Microsoft or whatever company you're looking at. You can quickly flip between annual and quarterly rates of change. And you'll see there are other areas where you can flip between quarterly and annual views. Now, the first thing to see on the security details page is company research. And to me, this is actually one of the most useful parts of the entire site. When I want to look up a new stock, and I hear about new stocks all the time, and I want to find out, what does this company do? I look it up on Irvin, I go right to the company research tab, and I get this extensive, plain language explanation of what this company does. How do they make their money? Where do they operate? what are the risks? What's the competition look like? How much are they focused on different segments? And it really is just something, I haven't seen this anywhere else, this extensive of an explanation on what a company does, where they operate, where the risk factors are. When I want to learn about a new company, again, this is the first place I go.
It's an unbiased source of due diligence.
Exactly, that's right. Now we've got all sorts of other data here in security details page. We've got historical price data, so you can see open, high, low, close, volume, change, percent change. You can look over any time period that we've got data for. Now we've got full company financials. And what we try and do is we try and show you at a high level a quick chart so that you can see some summary information. But then we've got the raw data right here. You want to go into income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. We've got key ratios. So these are all calculated ratios, not the kind of thing that the company reports, things that we or our data provider are calculating for us. So again, the most comprehensive information you can possibly get about a company at your fingertips, annually or quarterly, and visualized. And the cool thing is you can take any of these charts, you can switch to cash flow, balance sheet, income statement, switch quarterly, annually, take the price on or leave it off, and then save it as a component and embed it into a post and share that information with the community, share your investment ideas with the community, and then collaborate with the community on seeing if that's the right choice for you in terms of a trade to make.
So finally, before we go, I wanted to touch on public access. It's something that we've been working on for the site, and right now we have public access to the Market Movers market heat map.
Yeah, so our goal is to open the site up now, and we're working on that. So soon enough, anyone will be able to make an account. You won't have to be on our beta waitlist. And after that, you'll be able to research a stock and look up the basics before you have to create an account. And here, what we've got is our market movers page. This is one of our first data pages where we're trying to take all of this amazing data that we have access to and turn it into something that offers some insight and information rather than just that raw data. Now, lots of sites have heat maps, of course. We think ours looks pretty good, and you can see it here. It's also pretty performant. You can make a lot of changes, and those changes are reflected right away. So here I'm looking at sort of your standard market heat map weighted by market cap. But if I want to change and I want to say, well, I'd like to look at volume over ADV. So what stocks are trading way more than their average daily volume today in the S&P 500, because I've got that as my security group. And now I can see that. I can see it on both an individual stock basis as well as on a sector and industry basis. So now these sectors down here are also weighted by volume to ADV, and we also see what the returns are within those sectors. I can change that weighting to volume to shares outstanding. What stocks are trading a larger percentage of their float today than what we would normally see? That's where we can see that here. And we also have advancers, decliners by industry and sector. And so now if I want to stick with this view and I want to go into the mining sector, for example, I can click on that here and I can see how different within the mining sector, what the industries are that we have labeled, what the advanced decliners are across those, as well as the individual stocks, again, weighted by volume to shares outstanding. Once I've gotten the view I want, I can take a screenshot, post it wherever I want on platform or on social media. But I can also just scroll down here and take a look at the individual stocks. I can see the basic statistics that we're using to populate the heat map. And of course, I can drill down into any one of these stocks to go to its security details page. We think that the market movers heat map is the best way to explore the market at this high level and to quickly change from different security groups, different market cap groups, and different ways of weighting the heat map.
So lots of ways to interact with the information, aside from, like you said, just looking at raw data.
That's right.
Well, I can understand why they said it was such a beautiful UI. You know, I see it every day, but sitting here letting you present it, it is a beautiful thing to behold. So kudos again to the whole Urvin team.
That's right.
Well, Dave, thanks for showing us around the platform. There's a lot more that we could show you, but we're running out of time today, so I guess we'll just have to revisit this again soon. That concludes our Irvin field trip today. Everybody, make sure you didn't leave any belongings on the bus as you exit. Please exit in a single file line. Okay, I'm done. We had a lot of fun showing you everything that we've been working on, and we hope you enjoyed seeing it. And we even more so hope that you join us. So be sure that you go to theterminal.urvin.finance